Hello everybody and welcome to Creativity Time. My name is Tatiana. I'm an Independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in Australia and I go live every Wednesday on Facebook as a creative inspiration. So I hope that I inspire you to be creative, or I teach you a new technique or a trick or a tip. Whichever you get out from this, I really hope that you find something that you do learn. So today we're going to use the Full of Love. I am absolutely in love with the stamp set. I only recently got it, so it's in the annual catalogue, and I saw it and I loved it, and I never bought it for some bizarre reason. So I finally ordered it. It came last week and I've been playing with it and I just absolutely adore it. So I thought it would be fun. Let's actually flip before I start describing my concept. So flip. I just absolutely love this bit, the envelope. Something about the card maker in me really loves it. And even though I love all the florals, I thought it'd be fun to create a card. And I've seen a few on Pinterest, but I'm going to do my own variation. So essentially all I need is this bit. Of course, not of course, I will be fussy cutting it out, but because it's a rectangle, it's really easy. And so that's not a challenge. So I've mounted the stamp. And I've got some basic white here, and I'm just going to ink it up and only focusing on that area there. And hold on, I'm just going to roughly measure by stamping here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just going to use some masking tape so that I can fit more of those little envelopes on my piece of basic white. Oops, I've got ink on the table. Better clean that up. You can't see it, but I can. Oh, there, it's on screen now. Anyway, so now I'm just going to make sure I'm stamping in there, because otherwise I'm going to have to stamp these full, and then that takes a lot of space. So by masking these bits off, I can just get the bits I want. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. And so repeat, and I want 5 of these. Yay, it's working. I knew it would. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, you don't have to be so exact when you're masking off the area, but I like the consistency. Beautiful. And I'm going to put that to the side. We'll fussy cut them out a little bit later. I probably should clean my stamp, otherwise I could accidentally put something on it and get ink, which I get happens often. Okay, so that's all ready to go, and now I've got a piece of fluid 100, and I am kind of just trying to find the center point here. So I'm just going to grab, oh, no, where did I put that masking tape? I had some. Where did I put it? Aha. I'm just going to grab a piece of masking tape to mask that down. So this is approximately in the middle. And we're going to do a watercolor wash background and kind of colors coming out from the middle, splurting across, and then we'll put the little envelopes on top, and I think it'll look really cute. So the colors I'm going to use are Bermuda Bay, Gorgeous Grape, Polished Pink, Pumpkin Pie, and Daffodil Delight. And I'm going to start in the middle with the Polished Pink, so I might just lower this down. can put the ink pad on top. And I'm just going to use, I want things in the even, so I kind of want that there, that there. Just to give myself a little bit of a guide as to where I want each of the colors, but they're going to be overlapping. And I think I've got enough ink here. So I've got my ink pad and I'm using that as a palette. And to get ink on the base of the ink pad, flip your ink pads over and give them a good press from behind, and that'll transfer some ink. You could also take an ink refiller and dab it in. So I'm going to add some water. I want to dilute this quite a bit initially, and we'll build the color up and then kind of splatter that. A bit more ink there. And to speed this process up, because, well, one, you create these beautiful texture, so that's one reason, but secondly, it takes some time to dry, so I'm going to use the heat tool to dry that up. So I could keep there. That is just my chamois in a stamp case, and I'm going to keep that there so that I can white things. Now you can see that the ink is no longer flowing beyond the edges because I've dried the edges. So this is where you can get some really fun techniques by drying a section, or really fun look, and that'll create a edge. Oh, getting hot. See? And you get these beautiful, so kind of tip the ink away from where you're drying and then start adding it back in, and you've got these beautiful edges. And look, it did run off, but I'm not too worried. This is watercoloring, and we want it to be fluid and organic looking in the end, so just kind of go with the flow. You're never going to get the same look twice, that's for sure. But I'm loving the start. And I'm just going to grab a tissue to dry that bit off. Okay, so that was polished pink. Let's go with gorgeous grape to that way, left. And I'm just going to make sure that I don't have any polished pink left on my brush, and repeat the process, kind of overlapping. And I could be really tricky here, sneaky, tricky. And I'm going to clean that off. And I'm going to grab the pumpkin pie. Oh, there's no ink on the pumpkin pie. So this is how you, actually, I'm going to change the pumpkin pie to Mango Melody, because that's my favorite orange. There. I know it's a yellowy orange, but it's on the orange side. I think it'll go better with the polished pink than pumpkin pie. Okay, so I've added both in because they're not going to overlap. I add a bit more purple ink to there. And now, I might use the tweezers as well, if I can find them. Can't find my tweezers. Aha, no. Bizarre. Okay, doesn't matter. And heat set again. And we are going to do this a few times just to get a nice colourful background, and then get the colours to blend a bit into each other. But it's such a fun process. You've seen, for those who have watched my videos before, it's not the first time I am doing this. I absolutely love getting those watermarks. Can you see the water edges, that water look? Even these three colours look good together. Getting hot. There we go, almost dry. Excellent. I see that a few people are watching. Do pop on and say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. And maybe have you tried this technique before? I don't know what it's officially called. So this is a Bermuda Bay. I'm going to do the two color thing again. And now Daffodil Delight. And see, now that I've got the Daffodil Delight, it looks more, the Mango Melody looks more orange than yellow. And once again, heat set. I wish I could find my tweezers. Oh, I got another ink run there. Awesome. And as you heat it, you probably can't see this on camera, but as you heat it, you can see where it's still shiny, where it's wet, and just keep going until it's no longer shiny. The Fluid 100 paper is the best paper for this. It's a watercolor paper, so it absorbs water and it allows this kind of technique to happen. Cardstock that doesn't absorb water won't really work too well with this because it will peel. It'll start peeling from all that extra water, whereas the Fluid 100 paper, because it's a watercolor paper, so I'm just adding more polished pink. The Fluid 100 paper is designed to carry that water, and I'm kind of blending, and as you can see, as I start mixing over that join area, it starts blending the color. I've got a basic black cut so that it's 1.5 millimeters around the edge. Now, because the water paper is now, not flat, I'm going to stick this down and weigh it down with the big block as the glue adheres. That way it dries flat. So I'm going to do that now, and that will give it time, and then we can prep all the other elements of this card. So I'm going to add some extra glue to what I normally would. Still using the multi-purpose liquid glue so that I can have that wiggle room. But the other option is tear and tape, because that's got quite a good strong bond. So I'm going to move that, place it down on the table, and then that clear block on top. I might actually put a second block because it's very, very curvy. Now, let's bring in these, and before I completely put away my inks, I'm just going to very lightly colour in the hearts. So not too much water, because I need to zoom that in, because I don't want the cardstock to peel, but I just want to add a little bit of colour to each of these little hearts. Now, this is just regular cardstock, basic white, so you don't want to use too much water, otherwise it'll peel and bleed. Polished pink, so I'm not squeezing the water painter at all, I'm just picking up the ink and placing it right there, and then wiping it off. This is Mango Melody. And just that little touch of colour, I think, will make such a big difference. And finally, some Daffodil Delight. And I can zoom back out. And I'm just going to grab my paper snips and trim these out. So what I really like about the stamp set, there's a tiny gap between the edge of the envelope and all the florals behind it. So that means you're able to snip out the envelope without even showing that there used to be flowers sitting right behind it. So isn't that pretty? Of the card. God, so I'm going to use basic black, and I just want to get that envelope again. So this time I'm going to mask. Shall I try masking the actual stamp? See how well that works. And then I can use the two pieces that I used earlier. And the idea with this technique is that you add the ink just to the bit of the stamp that you want. And then you remove the post-it notes, making sure I get enough ink. This is very inky post-it notes as a result, but that did give me only that, and I can stamp that envelope on its own at the bottom. Isn't that pretty neat? So I'm going to do that one more time. Once again, ink pad, and I definitely take ink pad to the stamp, not the other way around, because then you can see where the ink is. Woo! There, so cute, too cute. Let's clean the stamp. proofing my 2 big blocks, and you can see that that is now nice and flat just from that little bit of weight. I have a little bit of glue oozed out there, but that's all good. And so now the idea is to place the little envelopes across, where I'm just making sure that each of them have the little heart on display. I really like that. I'm really happy with that layout, and I'm going to put those up on dimensionals. Let's see if I do. I don't want to move it. Okay, so I'm drawing that. Drawing dots. Can't remember if that was on top. Okay, I drew little dots where each of them went. And that way I can put my dimensionals down. Normally when I lay something out and I really like the positioning, I would take a photo and then I work off my phone, but my phone is currently busy, so I can't do that. So I'm trying to remember where it all was. I like it. Whether it was the same or not, I don't know, but I like it. Now, I was thinking, I went this way. Isn't I going to go too late? But I stamped the envelope the wrong way for the card to be this way. Let's fix that up. Grabbing another piece of, well, I suppose, no, I can keep that one and use it on another project. I'm a little bit of a goose. I had planned to do them this way. Wonder. Haha, I can. Going to be a little sneaky. Luckily I didn't press too hard with each one, so I am peeling them off. Pink one. Keep them in order. Changes the look, doesn't it? But I'm happy. Ooh, got distracted. It's because I put the cardstock in the landscape mode when we were watercoloring. So that's what distracted me from. That's all good. So now that can go there. And this we don't need, oops, nope, where is it? This one we don't need to restamp because it's now the correct way. And I'm just going to add that to the inside. And now we can add that to the front. And I feel like it needs something in vellum in the background. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, the splendid stems. There's got some nice, let's see, these dies are all over the place. Some of them cut out images, but for example, this one creates like a outline, and so does this one. I'm thinking this one will look good, yes. And then there's that spriggy one too. And I'm thinking in vellum. I'm going to stick to one, I think. That one. And perfect opportunity to use up some scraps of vellum. Oh look, that's excellent. A mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And plates. And I'm so pleased my table doesn't wiggle now. So that's a smooth video. See what I mean? Little outlines. And we tuck them behind. That is just going to add that little extra dimension. So one, let's cut out. If we tuck two into there. And even we could flip them around. Yeah, I'm really happy with that positioning. So just play around until you're happy. And then I'm gonna grab some blue dots. And I kind of try to put the glue dot in the thickest spot. And press it down. Loving this. I'm thinking just a little bit of bling. And I know exactly which one. The iridescent rhinestone basic jewels, and just the small ones. No big ones this time. Just kind of splattered around. And what I love about these is that they pick up the colours behind them and around them. So, you know, they really can go with any project. How's that? Oh, I think that really adds to it. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Got an even number, but when there's so many, you don't realise that's even. So there we go. That, my friends, oh, I lost it. There we go. That, my friends, is the project for today. It's a very simple envelope, but a real splash of colour as you open up your card. So there we go. Did you learn anything? Did you pick up on a new technique or a trick? I hope you did, because that's what creativity time is all about, to inspire you. So maybe it's just you've been inspired to go and do something creative. I really hope so. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will catch you next week. So every Wednesday I go live 1 p.m. So at the moment it's Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Sydney time. That's probably the easiest way to describe it. Thank you and bye for now.